This is me tolerating all the disrespect, all the humiliation, over explaining myself, not holding people accountable. And can you see how heavy this bag feels? Now, if I stop tolerating disrespect, start holding them accountable, stop over explaining myself, can you see how all of a sudden this bag is so much lighter? This is what happened when you stop tolerating their nonsense and start reclaiming your energy. And today we are going to talk about how to stop being a doormat, because you know what? This year we are going to be the best version of ourselves. So, without further ado, let's start the video. Point number one, tolerance is not love. For example, right, someone says something that hurts you, right? And you are calmly trying to bring it up. You're like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the thing which you just said about me, this joke that you made about me, it sounded offensive to me, and maybe it was your intention, maybe it wasn't your intention at all, but I was just trying to tell you that I don't like this at all. And instead of understanding you, instead of being like, okay, I'm sorry to do that, I mean, I didn't mean to do that, right? They say things like, you are too sensitive, like, learn to take a joke, girl, or that is not what I meant, like, not everything is about you. You swallow it not because it didn't hurt, but because you didn't want any conflict. You didn't want them to think that you're attacking them or something. So, I mean, girl, tolerating disrespect is not love. It's never love, and people who tell you otherwise is just lying to you, or they are someone who are benefiting from you tolerating disrespect. That is just you training yourself so that this connection survives. But is the connection really worth it if all it does is makes you tolerate disrespect, humiliates you all the damn time? Is it really your responsibility to make that relationship survive? I don't think so. I don't think so at all, because a healthy relationship is a relationship where respect is mutual. I'm respecting you, you're respecting me. I, or like where a relationship where you are not staying quiet so that they will stay in your life, they will keep staying in that relationship. That is just you dimming your own light, that is just you tolerating all the nonsense so that you can be with someone like them. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to be with someone like them who doesn't care about you at all? Point number two, consistency shows priority. For example, right, they text you late at night, they open up emotionally even when they are low, right? And you're always there for them, always listening to what they have to say, always giving them advices, always trying to be there for them, right? But the moment you need someone, the moment you want to emotionally open up, they are gone, they are not available, they are busy, and you are busy trying to make excuses for them. You're like, okay, maybe they're overwhelmed, maybe they're really busy. It's not like every time people will have time for you. Like, girl, you were also busy, you were also overwhelmed, but still you went ahead and still you were present for them, even when you were emotionally tired, right? Were you not busy when you were available for them every time when they needed you? And if someone only shows up when it's convenient for them, you are not a priority, you are an option for them. They will show up if they want to, but you have to show up for them every time that they request, every time that they order. You have to pick up their call every time that they are calling you. You have to answer their text every time. But the moment you need that same attention, all of a sudden they are busy. So it's like they can be busy, they can have their own life, they can have their own career, they can have their own personal relationships, own personal problems going on. But the moment you are busy, but the moment you want to focus on your career, but the moment you are mentally tired and you need space, but the moment you have problems in your personal life, they are not okay with it at all. They are not okay with you being busy. So that is not love. That is just they treating you like an option, and you are okay being treated like one. Point number 3 is hope is how we betray ourselves. For example, right? You don't stay because things are good. You stay because of what that relationship could be. You remember one good conversation. You remember one time they showed up for you. You remember one kind gesture. And then you keep waiting for that moment to return. And you keep telling yourself that, okay, he's not a bad person at all. He's a good person. He's just not being himself right now. Or like, she's just not being herself right now. And that is completely fine. That is not fine. Because at this point, you're not in love with who they are. You are in love with what this relationship could be. He could be a nice person. He could show up for you anytime. Like it's just there, He's just not himself, but I can feel it. My intuition is telling me that he will show up one day. You are hoping and you're waiting for that one day. And this time period of you waiting for that one day is draining you, is making you frustrated, is not helping your case at all. Because at this point, you are either hoping for old things to return, or for them to be the person that you thought they were, or you're just attached. Not with them, you're not attached with them, you are attached with the things that you have imagined, with the delusion that you have in your mind. And trust me, I've been there. I've learned my lesson, and this is actually very difficult because at this point you just cannot differentiate whether you want them, whether you miss them, or whether you miss the things that you used to do when you were with them, or like how you were before. Like, for example, right, before things went down, you guys were always texting each other, right? You guys were constantly like texting each other, right? And now you are missing that same thing. You're missing those constant texts, but you think that you missed them as well. And that is when hope becomes dangerous, because it makes you escape the reality. It makes you deny the reality, because you cannot see how everything turned out. You are just wishing for everything to go back to how it once was. And things just doesn't go back how it once was. Point number 4, disrespect is often quiet. For example, right, they don't insult you, they don't shout at you at all. No, they never raise their voice at you, they never yell at you, they just don't include you. They never say hi in public, right? They never defend you. Like, if people are insulting you or saying things about you in front of them, they're just listening. They're not taking a stand for you at all. And when you feel hurt, they say things like, oh, I didn't think that it mattered. Or, it was never that serious, right? Those guys, they were just joking and it's nothing serious. And you need to stop overreacting. But the thing is, not thinking about your problems, not thinking about you is the problem. Not thinking, or like not even acknowledging you in public is the disrespect. And disrespect is not always loud. Disrespect is not them openly criticizing you, them openly saying things about you, spreading rumors about you. Disrespect is also indifference. Like, they have time to talk with you on text, right? They can text you late at night, like let's say 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., they have time for that, but they don't have time to say hi in public. Like in public, they act as if you don't even exist at all. That is huge red flag, and that is the biggest disrespect. And you don't have to keep tolerating it. You don't have to keep hoping that okay, maybe they have things going on in their life. You don't have anything going on in your life? Are you free all the damn time? No, right? You also have things going on in your life. Point number 5 is over understanding can also become self neglect. For example, right, their traumas, how bad things were for them once, right? You know how bad or like how low they were at that point, or maybe how much they struggled. You know everything. You know their pain. You know everything about them. Like literally everything. But the moment they hurt you, you keep excusing their behavior. You keep seeing things like, okay, maybe like he's just hurt, he's just healing from his past, or in his past things like this happened, it's just because of his trauma, and I should be the one understanding because that guy is so traumatic. Poor him, poor guy. Just because someone has bad experience, traumas, that doesn't give them right to treat people horribly, and especially people who have nothing to do with their traumas. Okay, maybe, yeah, right, I understand, he has so much traumas in his past, maybe she has so much trauma in her past, right? They have bad experiences, but were you the reason of their bad experiences? Were you the reason of their trauma? Then why do they take it out on you? If you have nothing to do with it, then why are you allowing them to treat you like a punching bag? We all have traumas in our life. I have trauma, you have trauma, right? Just because I also have trauma in my life, does that mean I can treat anyone with disrespect? I can treat anyone like punching bag? No. Someone can be a good person and still be bad for you. Point number 6 is staying too long changes you. For example, you start doubting your actions. You start overthinking what you said, what you should have said, right? What you shouldn't have said. You are always rereading their messages. Like, is it something that I texted him that made him act like this? Is it something which I said? And as a result, you become quiet in nature, right? You become less expressive. You are more careful, like, even while texting, you're always careful that, okay, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. And that is just crazy. Like, look, the biggest red flag, which I think is not who they are or what are their actions, it's who you become around them. Like, for example, right, if you're with a guy, right, and all of a sudden you can be more of yourself. You feel free, you feel like calm around him, or like whenever he's with you, you are always enjoying your life. That says a lot about the person that you're with, because his action or the way that he acts is allowing you to enjoy your life, right? But if you're with someone and that person makes you feel insecure, makes you feel angry, makes you feel frustrated, makes you think as if you're the problem, makes you overthink every little thing that you do, that person is not right for you. That person is seriously not right for you, and he never will, no matter how many chances you give. It can apply to literally anyone, maybe your friends, maybe your boyfriend, maybe your family members, maybe like people around you in general. If they are not supportive, right, they make you question everything, then they are just not meant for you. Point number 7 is walking away feels like a loss. For example, right, when you leave that relationship, you feel empty, right? You feel lonely, you feel uncomfortable. You miss them, not because they were good, but because it was something familiar, right? Like it's small things. Like, for example, right, earlier you used to text them every small thing. Like, hey, I ordered this makeup product, right? I ordered this sunscreen. And now all of a sudden, who are you supposed to text? Who are you supposed to text these small little things that you used to tell them? Right? Like, for example, right, something happened in your life. Before, you used to call them, right? Maybe you used to text them that, you know what, this thing happened, I don't know what to do, like, help me, like, give me your advice, what do you think about it? But the moment it's over, right, who are you supposed to go to ask for advice? Who are you supposed to text that what should I do? That is what you miss. You don't miss them. You are over with them, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have left them, right? But because you were so done with them, done with their action, you left them, and now you miss these things. Now you miss that sense of familiarity. Because earlier, even though they were bad for you, even though they were not healthy choice, but there was someone, right? There was still someone whom you can talk to, whom you can go to when you were in trouble. But now all of a sudden, you don't have that option. You don't have any option anymore. And walking, because see, we all love familiar things. We all want to be around familiar things, right? Familiar people, familiar experiences, familiar relationships. And the moment we are forced to walk alone, even though you're not alone at that time, you're just figuring out. But still, when we are forced to walk into unknown, we don't want to do that anymore. And all we want to do is go back to that same sense of familiarity. Like, even though we know that it's toxic, right? Even though I know that that person is toxic, that person never cared for me, that person always wished ill intentions on me, but at least I knew that person, at least that person was familiar. So instead of walking in this unknown path, it's so much easier for me to at least be with someone with whom I'm familiar with. But just because you are feeling discomfort after leaving them, that doesn't mean that it's a wrong choice. That doesn't mean that you are wrong at all, right? It was your choice. Respect it. Start prioritizing your self-respect and stop tolerating disrespect from them, and you will be so surprised, right? The moment, like, now you have so many people around you, now you have so many people who are your friends, right? Who care for you, right? They always want good for you. But the moment you prioritize your self-respect, the moment you stop tolerating their nonsense, all of a sudden you don't have anyone. All of a sudden you maybe are left with 3 to 4 people at max. Earlier, like, let's say earlier you had 20 people, right? You had a big group of friends, you were socially very active, so many people, like, you had connections with so many people, so many people wanted good for you, they were genuine. Like, you literally had 30 to 40 people, and the moment you stop tolerating their nonsense, the moment you start prioritizing your self-respect, the moment you stop being available for them 24 into 7, all of a sudden they don't want to talk to you anymore. All of a sudden you are literally left with 5 people. Like, from having 30 people to now having 5 people. But you know what? Those 5 people are worth it than 1,000 people. And I believe it, right? And I tell this to everyone. One genuine person is better than being with hundreds of fake people, hundreds of people who just act as if they want best for you, who just act as if they care for you, but they never did. And that is true. Yeah, sometimes you will feel lonely, because, like, you were used to having 30 people around you, and now you only have 5 people with you. Obviously you will feel like maybe you made a wrong decision, but it's not wrong. It's not wrong at all. And that time you wouldn't understand it, but later on, when you can see things clearly, you will understand that yes, your decision was right. And see, someone who is used to living in chaos will always find being in peace boring. I was there at once and I know how it feels. Like, I was surrounded with people, constant gossiping, constant drama, and constant like humiliation. It was like a roller coaster ride, up and down, up and down. Like, it was constantly that. And the moment I chose my self respect over being with all that noise, right? My life was peaceful. Yes, it was peaceful. It was going great, but I still missed that drama. I still missed that chaos. I still wanted to be in that chaos because I was so used to being living in that chaos. And but yes, then I realized that being in chaos is not a good choice at all. And once I started actually enjoying my own company, actually finding, or like actually enjoying just my own time, enjoying my own company, I started to feel so much better. And people, they say things like this all the time, that oh my god, like she's always with her, like she's never seen in group activities or things like that, or like people always say things like this or assume things like this all the time, that just because I don't like to be involved in unnecessary drama, unnecessary chaos, I don't talk with everyone. There are selective people whom I talk to. I just don't like talking to everyone. Like, I just don't want the whole world to be my friend. No, I'm okay with 2 to 3 friends, 2 to 3 genuine friends, and I'm okay. And I just need time. I cannot bond with you, and I cannot share personal things with you within what, like 10 days of talking to you. And then these people, they say things like, and yeah, people will going to say things like this, and people will make you question your decision, right? They did at once. In my case, they did at once. But then I realized that these are the people who are so used to living in chaos that they can never find uh or like these people are so used to living in chaos that they find peace boring. These people, they just cannot live with their own thoughts, they just cannot live with their own company. And I'm not shaming anyone, right? If that is what suits you, go ahead, but just don't shame other people, right? Just because you love drama, you love chaos, don't shame someone who doesn't want to have that choice, right? So people will question your decision all the time, and you will feel that because of your self-respect you lost so many people. I felt that recently. But then you will realize that they were never your people from the very beginning, and it was a blessing that you got rid of them. It truly is. So yeah, stop tolerating their disrespect. It's not worth it at all. You don't stop tolerating disrespect just because you're cold or you're rude. You stop tolerating disrespect because you're just done with it. That is it. You're just done with people always underestimating you, people always assuming things about you, people never caring about how you feel, because at the end of the day, you also have emotions. You're not a robot who doesn't feel anything. You're not Chat GPT with whom like anyone can talk in any way that they want and Chat GPT wouldn't say a thing, right? You're not that. You're a human. You feel things. You feel emotions. And the moment you choose yourself, yes, life gets quiet. Yes, you don't have so many people around you like how earlier you were used to having so many people around you, and now you don't have them anymore. But you will get more clarity, and you will learn to live with yourself, because at the end of the day, the only thing which is going to be with you, or like which is going to stay permanent, is you yourself. Everyone else will leave you at one point, right? But you're the only one who's going to be with you all the time. So that is it for today's video. And if you like my video, then like, share, and subscribe my channel. And we'll meet next time. Bye bye.